So in this video we are going to discuss about some more basics Linux commands. We will be talking about how we can create a file in Linux terminal. Also we will be talking about how we can create a directory or folder using mkdir command. Also we will be talking about how we can rename files and folders using the mb command. At the same time we will also show how we can cut and paste files and folders from one directory to another directory. Also we will be talking about how we can delete a file in Linux. Then lastly we will talk about how we can use the sort command to sort the contents of a file based on a certain column. So let's get started. We will be doing this activity in an online Linux terminal at beller.org. Let's get started. There are various ways we can create a file in Linux. So I'm going to show you how we can do using echo and redirection operator. Let's say I want to say hello world, and we want to create a test.txt file. We will say echo hello world, then redirection operator, which is basically a greater than symbol, the name of the file we want to create. Basically what we echo, as you know, is used to display the content into the terminal. Then we are saying that the whatever content you are displaying, please redirect it to the file test.txt. This command will create the file test.txt. In this case, if the file does not exist, if it exists, then it will overwrite. Let's get a listing of the files. We got test.txt and see what is the content. So we have hello world. Now let's say I don't want to overwrite the file and I want to add the content to the next line, and then how we can do that. So I'll say my name is Sri, and then we can use the double redirection operator to append. So double redirection represents append. So this is basically saying that add the line that I'm saying to the last line of the file test.txt. So let's see test.txt. Then you see that my name is Sri is in the last line. Similarly, so let's see if I say my name is Sri and I just don't use the double redirection operator, then what happens? As I said, it will override. So we will get just my name is Sri, and then you see that this file gets overwritten and we get only my name is Sri as the content. Moving ahead, we will be talking about how we can create a folder or directory using, let's say I want to create a directory mkdir. Then how we can do that? So I will say mkdir mkdir. So if you get a listing, you see that I got the directory mkdir. Let's say I want to create multiple directories in a single command. Then how we can do that? We can do that by giving the name of the file separated, name of the folder separated by space. So I will say mkdir, then mkdir 1, mkdir 2, mkdir 3, just like that. So you see that I got all the directories. Now next we are going to talk about, let's say I want to create a folder structure and using a single command. Then how can we do that? So let's say we see that mkdir, then we have test directory, then inside the test directory we want to create a directory name is script. Now if you note, I don't have any directory named as test in this directory. So if I hit enter, I will get an error which says that no such file or directory. But if I have to do that, I can use the -p switch. If I use -p, which basically says that if the parent directory does not exist, then create it, and create the directory inside of the directory, and if it does not exist, then just escape it and create the directory inside. So I will say test, then script. You will see that, so it creates mkdir. Now let's see, here is -l, I get the test directory. Now test, you see that I have the script. Similarly, let's say I use the mkdir -p and then mkdir, then I say script, and you will see that it gets, so but it does not give error even though the mkdir already exists. So moving here, we will be talking about the mv command. Mv command is, as I already told you, is used to rename a file or directory. So we created the file test.txt. Let's say we want to rename the test.txt to testnew.txt. And I'll say mv test.txt, then testnew.txt. Let's see, so I no longer has the test.txt file, but I have the renamed file testnew. So let's see testnew.txt, and you see that we have the same content as before. Now let's say I want to cut paste this file or move this file to a different directory, let's say mkdir. Then how can we do that? We'll say mv, then test new.txt, and we will mention the name of the directory. Okay, just like that. Now see, I no longer has the test new.txt file, but if I get a listing of mkdir in which I move the file, you see that I got the file inside of that directory, and if I try to display the content, you see that I have the same content as before. Also, let's move it back from there, test new. Let's say I want to move the file at the same time I want to rename the file, and then how will I be able to do that? So I will just say mv, then so where the file is mkdir, then testnew.txt. Let's say I want to put it in the same directory. So as you know, for the current directory we represent it as a dot, so I will say dot, then slash, then name of the file. So we want to rename the file back to test.txt, and you see then I got the test.txt. Then if you see mkdir, you see then we no longer has the file inside the mkdir. Similarly, if I have to move for a folder, complete folder, and then let's say I want to move the test into mkdir test directory. So test, then I will say mkdir. Now see, I do not have test here, but if I get a listing of mkdir, you see that I got the folder test inside mkdir. So this is all about mv. Moving it, let's talk about how we can remove a file or delete a file from your Linux system. But a note of caution that since rm command is going to delete the file completely, you may have some important information inside the file which may be useful for you. So double check and be careful when you are using rm command, so be careful. So let's say I want to, let's copy this file first, txt to test copy and .txt. Now let's say I want to remove the file test.txt, then I will say rm test.txt. Just like that, you see it no longer has the file. Now another thing that I want to say, so let me create some more file. So let's say I want to create demo.txt, then I want to say demo1, then I want to create demo1.txt. let's say what I want to show you is, let's say you want to remove some file having some pattern. For example, you want to remove all the files having .txt extension, or that file which ends with .txt, and how you can do that. So I would say rm star, which is the wildcard, and .txt. This will remove all the files from your directory, so having that ends with .txt. Let's say you want to remove a complete directory, then how you can do that? Let's say I want to remove the directory mkdir. Okay, then if I say rm mkdir, you see that it says, it gives an error and says that is a directory. That means we cannot remove a directory by using rm command, but we can, but we have to use -r, which represents a recursively delete. So whenever you want to delete a directory, so it will have to delete all the files inside of the directory. To do that, you have to use the -r, which represents a recursive deleting, and after the name of the directory, then you are able to. Similarly, if you want to, let me create some more files. So test, then test.txt, then let's say echo, then demo, then so demo.dat. let's say I want to remove these two files that are demo.dat and test. So in a single command, then I will say test.txt, then demo.dat. This way I will be able to remove both. So basically you have to remove and basically you have to mention the name of the files you want to remove separated by space. Moving ahead, we will be talking about how we can use the sort command to sort the content of a file. So to do that, let me quickly create two files. Okay, so to do that, I will use a vi command. And so if for those who doesn't know what the vi command, vi is just like an editor, and it's similar to the text editor in Windows, but in this case we are going to use the vi editor. We will have a whole section for the vi editor. For now, just follow me about whatever I'm going to show you. So I will say vi, the name of the file, hit enter, then I'll press I in my keyboard, then let me copy some content that I have, then paste it. So let's paste it here, then press escape key in your keyboard, then press shift Z. So let's see what I got. .txt, then create another file, emp_comma.txt, then press I, then copy these files, then right click, paste here, press escape, shift Z, now the listing, so comma.txt. now use sort. So if I say cat emp.txt, you see that. So let's say I want to see the content of the emp.txt in a sorted manner based on, let's say, for the first column. Okay, in the first column we got let's say these are the employee ID. After that we got employee name, then employee last name, then let's say department ID, then salary, So my requirement is that I want to sort the information based on first column, which is, so I will want to see first 100, then 101, 2, 3. So how can I do that? I will say short emp.txt. Then you see that I got 100, 101, 102, 103 and 104. So here, very simple. The important point to note here is that the short command sort the data based on the delimiter, default delimiter of space. In this case, you see that, so for those who doesn't know what a delimiter basically is a character which separates different columns in a file. So the first column, first space, decide the first column, the second space, decide the second column. In this case, I got the employee ID, let's say 10, then first name, Sribasa, Suresh, Lipi, like this. So by default, it will use space to sort. Let's say I want to sort the emp.txt and the content of the file using the second column. Then I will say short minus k, then for second column I will use, so minus k switch, then 2, then I will say emp.txt. Then if you see that I first got Lipi, then I got Pratyusha, so which is in the alphabetical order. Okay, let's say I want to reverse the order, then I will say short minus k2, then I will see r for reverse, then emp.txt. So you see that we got first Suresh, then Sribatsa, then Ramesh, then Pratyusha, then Lipi. Okay, similarly, let's say we got another delimiter file which is comma delimited in this case. So this file, in this case we got a comma. That how can we sort this kind of file? So we have to use minus t option. After that you mention, in this case comma is the delimiter, so I mention the comma is the delimiter. Then after that I will name of the file comma.txt. Then you see that, so by default it will sort the data based on the first column, so which is 100, 101, 102, 103, 104. So if I have to do it based on other columns, then I will mention that. Then let's say I want to do it in the fourth column, then I will say emp comma.txt. Then you see that I got first, so first column, second, third, fourth, so 1, 1, 2, 2, 3. Okay, so this is how we use short command. So this is all in this video. Hope you like this video. So do comment and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.